All right, welcome back to the second Guy Boston Sports channel here. More Guy Boston Sports. We have our MLB Parlay of the day. We got a 15-game, a full MLB slate to be able to dissect and pick and choose some different spots and throw into a nice, juicy parlay. In terms of yesterday, yeah, we'll take it. We hit that plus 260 parlay. Cash the money gun. Let's go. A four-leg parlay. I will say, we did have to sweat it out a little bit there with the Angels as well as the Minnesota Twins. But you know what? Comes through. Pumping some crowd noise. Another parlay hit. Again, this is a plus 262 play. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and take that. I got to clean up all this money, and we'll get right back to it. I swear this is part of the job that they don't tell you about. This is the difficulty. Janitorial duties. It's tough. All right, we're back. So like I said, guys, we have a full MLB slate to dive into here. If you guys don't know how we operate these parlay videos, it's pretty damn simple. All we do is go through each of the games briefly and kind of pick apart and pick and choose some safe spots that we like in the game and kind of try to build anywhere from a 3 to 5 leg parlay with decent odds and a decent payout, okay? So let's go ahead and do so. We're going to dive into our dashboard here for the first part of the parlay, for the first game, I guess I should say. We have Lucas Giolito against Kyle Bradish. I don't mind the Red Sox in this spot. That being said, Bradish, we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of him. It's his season debut. The Red Sox offense, I do like them to score like 4 runs today. In fact, if we look at that, maybe we could look at like over 2.5 for a team total and throw it in there. 275, sure. By the way, guys, that's kind of what we do as well. We put in spots that we like. We build a little of a bank here over on Outlier, and then at the end, we'll kind of chisel it down into a parlay that we like. So we might have like 8 choices by the end. We really want to work it down again to 3, 4, or 5 legs. So I think the Red Sox being able to hit, 1, this bullpen, right? This bullpen's not all that great. And 2, Bradish, who's probably not going to give you too many innings. I don't necessarily mind the spot there, especially being able to hit the fastball. So we'll leave it at that for now, but I don't think there's all that much else that we like within this game, especially because there are a couple question marks. Moving on, Atlanta and Miami. Waldrop's on the mound. He's been very, very good. You have Miami has Alcantara on the mound. One thing I will say, now I don't think there's much that we're going to pull out of this. I do like the idea of Michael Harris. I think that he fits the pitch mix really well. Decent numbers against Alcantara, right? One thing that I will say is Waldrop's been fantastic since pitching, coming up and pitching this year. I think he has 4 starts under his belt. I'll throw in the fact that one of those 4 starts is against Miami. So they've already seen him. He's a young, like 23, 24-year-old pitcher. That second time around within the course of like a month usually doesn't bode well for the pitcher. I don't think there's enough there that we like anything in this one, but just FYI, I can't stress that enough that, yeah, maybe this is a spot for Alcantara to pitch well at home, decent amount of righties in there. I could see it. Is it going to be something that we absolutely love and get behind? Not so much, but just FYI there. Maybe that is a spot for Miami. Moving on, we have Cleveland and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has Baz on the mound, Parker Messick on the mound for Cleveland. He's actually been pretty good since coming up. Neither one of these offenses looks all that great. I do take a peek at some of these player props, though. Carson Williams, really good pitch mix rating, except he can't hit lefties worth, anything. Over here as well, you have some low numbers for Angel Martinez and Steven Kwan. Maybe there's a chance there for some player props. Could we do like Kwan under in hits? Maybe that's a spot that we can consider. By the way, guys, the tool you're seeing is Outlier. Link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. 7-day free trial. Yes, 7 days free. Go ahead and check it out. But Steven Kwan is what we're looking at here. Can we get him for an alternate in terms of hits? Probably. We can go under 1.5 hits. He has not been looking all that great. Shane Baz should be good. He's batting good against righties this year, and Baz is bad against lefties. Fastball, not so much. The cutter and curve, he hits well. It's tough because those are season-long numbers. If we take a peek at the dashboard, you'll see here that Steven Kwan is not hitting the fastball well. The curve, he's not hitting well. The cutter, not even all that much. I don't mind the idea of saying he doesn't get 2 hits today. Why don't we add that into the pool just for now? It looks like that's only available on ESPN, so that might limit us in a sense. Yeah, we'll add it in there, but that might end up being something. You know what? I don't think it's going to be worth it. It's already minus 300. Let's get rid of that one. So still just the Red Sox over 2.5 is what we have in there. Move on to game number 4 here. And as a reminder, if you guys are watching these parlay videos every day, you're probably like, oh, this is like such a broken record thing. But yes, these are a little bit more raw. Yes, we're kind of going through and finding spots together. I know it's recorded and then posted afterwards, but we do not have the parlay built. So I'm not coming on here and defending why I like this parlay or something like that. It's more so us going through and navigating these games and seeing what looks good for a parlay. So just like you saw with Stephen Kwan, there might be some, yeah, let's include this. You know what? Maybe not. Again, it's a little bit more raw. If you like that, great. If you don't, it's how I like to do these parlay videos. I think it's a little bit better to do on the second channel as well. Less editing and all that, kind of just more raw. I've said raw like 10 times. Pause. Let's get back into it, all right? All right, we have Luis Gil against Mackenzie Gore. The Yankees I do like today. They hit the fastball really, really well. Mackenzie Gore's going to throw a lot of fastballs. They've been hitting lefties well. They are at home. I do like the spot for them. I'm not sure if, Mackenzie Gore is the guy I want to fade, though he's obviously very good. He struggled a little bit lately. If we look at the Yankees, maybe we could say again for them to go out there and score some runs. We've been having a lot of success with these team totals, so should we add Yankees team total in? Let's see last 20 games against lefties here. And this is the great thing about Outlier, guys. You can just kind of carve up and make these filters all you want. 60% of games against lefties. What about lefties at home? 65%. Last 10, it's still 60. Maybe this is a decent spot, huh? I mean, Mackenzie Gore against them is obviously going to be a tough one, I guess, in a sense. But still, the bullpen, I'm not all that fearful of whatsoever, right? This bullpen stinks. I kind of like the idea of the Yankees to score either 4, or do we just look at them on the money line? Let's go Yankees team total over 3.5 for now. We got the Red Sox and Yankees in there for their team totals. I think that's a decent spot to look at as of right now. By the way, guys, this tool, I know I'm throwing a lot at you in terms of promos. We got Outlier, now we got the dashboard. This tool is our MLB dashboard. Head over to GuyBostonSports.com, the members area, sign up for the MLB dashboard. You get this tool each and every game, each and every day for $6.99 a month. Absolute steal of a deal. You see me flashing back and forth between the back-end version and the real-time version. That's because we're recording this literally at the time of one of the jobs running, so some of the games are like updating and they look a little wonky, which happens just periodically throughout the day. That's how we keep it updated. So yeah, it might look like this at times, and then sometimes you see it in the back end with the Excel, but it's the same thing either way, all right? But let's dive into this one. Minnesota and Toronto. Chris Bassett for Toronto. Bailey Ober here is pitching for Minnesota. I do think that he could hold his own. I even talked about it in my video earlier this morning. But to me, it's still this Toronto offense, right? This Toronto offense is very, very good. The changeup and fastball could be okay for him. They don't hit that all that well, but my problem is, look at the changeup. Yes, they don't hit it that well, but a lot of these meaty guys, pause, in the order, hit it pretty damn well. So I'm thinking Toronto probably wins this one, and maybe is worth a single play, but not necessarily anything in terms of a parlay, if you ask me. Philadelphia and the Mets here. Jesus, Luzardo, Sean Manaea. I think the Phillies have a good game today. I really do. In a bounce back spot, Luzardo on the bump, but I don't mind the runs in this one either way. Luzardo kind of struggles against righties. There's a ton of righties in this lineup. And then, Manaea struggles against righties. There's a lot of righties in this lineup today as well. So can we get some sort of a alternate total here in this one? Could we go like over 5.5? I almost want over 6. Could that be the move? What do our friends over at Ballpark Pal think for this one in terms of a game sim here? They simulate games. I believe our score predicts is still loading for the day, but let's see what we got for Ballpark Pal. 4.3 to 3.8. That's not a minus 13 run index. Okay. All right. That kind of turns me off of it. I would almost say Phillies money line, but that's going to be a straight play more so than a play overall. Schwarber looks like he could be good, but again, we have two guys that are good against lefty, Sean Manaea included. Are there any left-handed bats that we could potentially fade here? Brandon Nimmo? Maybe could we take his under? He's a lefty. Luzardo's good against lefties. If we go like under and bases for him, I think that's probably what we kind of want to look at, right? Total bases, under 1.5. It's available on just ESPN, really, in terms of these parlayable spots. All right, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Could we be risking it? I think we can add it in. I mean, that's going to do a lot for these odds, right? DK already at plus 206. Fading Brandon Nimmo. He's been batting really, really well. Decent numbers against Luzardo. Yeah, let's get him out of here. I don't think that's a decent spot. I think it's a decent look, but, that might as well just be a single play if we're really going to get down to business there. He has decent numbers against Luzardo and everything. All right, Brendan Pfaadt against Jacob Misarowski. I like the over in this game. I already do have that one down. I think both these bullpens can be pretty damn volatile. Mistrowski is probably only to give you 4 innings. Brendan Pfaadt, I do think that he is a good pitcher. But, you know, he's had his struggles plenty throughout the year, and you can see he's going to throw plenty of pitches. The slider, the fastball, the changeup, a lot of pitches Milwaukee's been hitting over the last 30 days. So, though it's kind of double dipping into what we think we're going to make a final play today, I think we're going to be able to get a pretty damn good alternate line here, because that total's all the way down at 8 already. Could we go over 5.5? It's available in multiple books. Let's toss that in. What do we think here? 4 and 3.6. So they only have this as a 7, minus 12% run index, but I think the wind's blowing out, so that's good. It's just not going to be too warm, I guess I'm assuming. Let's check RotoWire in terms of just like that weather. Actually, we have that in our dashboard. Dome. Why am I looking at that? It's in a dome. Okay, so what does the wind matter, I guess, right? Unless they open that roof up. Do they open the roof up often in Milwaukee? That's what I thought. American Family Field is retractable, so maybe they do have it open today, which I like the fact that the wind's blowing out. But again, it's a little bit chilly. I think we leave this one in for now. Over 5.5. I think that that's okay. I will say out of the 3 that we have on there, that's probably the first to go ultimately, but I think we do leave that one in for now. White Sox and the Royals here. Lorenzen on the bump, Martin Perez on the bump. I think the Royals can score off Perez today. But that being said, this Royals team looked pretty bad yesterday, right? 0 runs. Perez has also looked very good, but look, there's a ton of righties in the lineup here for the Royals. I think they bounce back. Let's take a peek at their team total. This might as well be like called the totals parlay, because we've been rolling with a lot of team totals, but that's what's been working. So why shy away from it, right? Could we look at them over 2.5? Done it in 8 of their last 10. What about head-to-head against this White Sox team? Yeah, on the road against the White Sox, only 5 of 10. But what about against lefties on the year? Not tremendous. All right, I still think that it's, especially after a shutout, right? Like you could see here, that was their first shutout in forever. I don't even know if, let's see, they got shut out here. They've only been shut out a few times this year. Let's keep this one in there. I think that we're already off to the races here. It looks like DK or MGM are going to be the places that house all of these. But again, we may remove a couple of these. So right now, Royals team total over. I could see them scoring a few runs. Can we validate it with our prediction model here on? Yeah, 5 runs coming from the Royals via Ballpark Pal. So I think that could be a decent look. Yeah, they struggle against lefties a little bit, but you know what? The changeup they'll see, the sinker, these pitches aren't terrible. The cutter could work. But even still, Bobby Witt hits the cutter well. Maikel Garcia hits the cutter well. Frazier, Grichuk. I think there's enough there that could get us somewhat behind it. St. Louis and Pittsburgh, I don't even think we need to cover this one. Yeah, there's nothing that I really like there. Maybe St. Louis team total over, but even still, that offense has been rough. All right, LA and Texas. This is another one in which I like the over. Both these pitchers struggle against righties, right? And look, there's a ton of righties. There's going to be all righties in the lineup here for the Angels, and then pretty much all righties. 8 righties projected in the lineup for Texas. So I think this could be a decent spot. I almost wonder what we can get for an alternate, because again, we're paying a lot of juice already for some of these plays, guys. Yes, we cashed yesterday, but again, it was a little bit difficult because of navigating those lines all the way down, right? So over 6.5, that's not a given by any means. Could we just look at like a Texas team total? Maybe that's something that we could do, because I think that they could, bounce back after getting shut out yesterday. Over 2.5 from them. Let's throw that in the mix. I think I like that a lot, actually. Texas over 2.5, more so than, over 6.5 and whatnot. I probably like Texas more than both of these spots as well, I guess. But again, that's the point. We're going to put together a bunch, and then we will move on from there. So right now we got 5 plays in there. We're not rolling with all these, but as of right now, plus 353. Now here's an interesting one. Is it simple enough to say, hey, Astros, go win this game? You're at home against the Rockies. Hunter Brown on the mound. It's a lot of juice, but don't we feel like the Astros may be I hate to say it, but a given today? I'd say screw it. Let's toss the Astros in there. That should be somewhat of a builder. Let's kind of clean this up. I think we're going to probably stay away from... Oh, this is tough. These are too juicy for what we're getting. So let's take out that 5.5. Let's take out this 2.5. And now we're back to 4, which I think these are the 4 that we've liked so far more than anything. You could see kind of mid 230s is what we're looking at in terms of odds. But yeah, I think that Hunter Brown should be able to go out there and pitch fairly well. In fact, here's an idea. If that's minus 350, let's see if we can beat this price. I'm looking at a Colorado team total under now. If we can beat that, minus 300-ish price, that might be a good look. Under, no, okay, I was going to look at under 4.5. So again, it didn't really beat it out. In fact, DraftKings would be 400. Okay, I think Houston is probably our spot here. That's going to be one of the juicier spots that we even have in the parlay, but they're so much better, right? They're so much better than Colorado. Like, this is a Houston team that's trying to hold on to that spot in the playoffs too. Haven't been all that great. All right, let's move on. Cease and Castillo. I already rolled, I think, as a final play today, a first 3 under. I like the Padres also, but nothing from a parlay perspective. So I think this is going to be a spot in which, yeah, there's multiple options if someone likes this game today in terms of straight bets and whatnot, but nothing that I'm like, oh man, we got to get a parlay down with or a piece like that. Because again, we're doing parlays a little differently. Yes, this would boost the odds and whatnot, but the goal is to kind of have like a sweaty parlay in which we took alternate lines versus this mega payout, right? That's just kind of how we're operating as of right now until we build the parlay bankroll a little bit. Chicago and San Francisco, I don't mind the Cubs here to win this one, but Justin Verlander hasn't been all that terrible lately. He has 2 bad starts in his last 5. Matthew Boyd's very, very good. I could see the Cubs winning this one, but at, what are they right now? Minus 150-ish or something like that. I don't think that it's going to be like a safe play to throw in there. And I know you guys are probably watching minus 130. I know you guys are probably thinking like, oh, well, there's no such thing as safe. And I would agree with that. But again, what I mean is that I feel like we should at least have somewhat of a strong confidence in it overall. I don't think the Cubs are, all that much playing better than the Giants right now. Yes, you look at this, 8 of their last 10, but this Cubs team has definitely been struggling. So that's a back burner one. Where are we? That's a back burner one. Don't think it's going to get there, though. All right, next one. Athletics and Tigers. I do really like a lot of the Athletics. Look at those pitch mixes, guys. Like a lot of them to score today. Charlie Morton throws curveballs. Check this out. Boom. Athletics hit curveballs really, really well. Is there a team total that we can get in here? I worry there's not because that total's all the way at 11. 4 runs from the A's. 4 runs from the A's. Our friends at Ballpark Pal have them scoring 5. I don't know, man. I mean, they've been doing it, right? Against, and at home, too, is huge. At home this year, 48%, but already last 20, 60%, averaging 5 runs a game. We look at their last 5 they've been going off. What about this year against righties at home? 45, last 20. Okay, so are they not as good against righties? Yes, they're not as good against righties as lefties, but that curveball definitely is tempting. I think we pass on this one, but that definitely could easily be a piece that we like. And there's going to be mainly righties coming out of the bullpen. So, yeah, man, I wish that we could get there. I wish that we could get to this 3.5, right? I really do wish we could. I don't think we're going to be able to, though. I don't. All right, last game we have here is Cincinnati and the Reds. I mean, this Cincinnati and the Reds. The Dodgers and the Reds. I do think that Kershaw should be able to pitch fairly well against this squad. They're bad against lefties. I should say, the slider is a good pitch for them, though, and he's going to throw a ton of sliders. I don't know if I would sit here and be like, okay, well, what about Nick Martinez? I mean, fastball they should hit, the changeup they should hit, the sinker not so much, the slider they will. Like, it's kind of a mixed bag from him. Struggles against righties, Mookie, Will Smith, Teoscar. There's a lot here that we could look at, but I'm almost thinking what we have right now in terms of this parlay isn't going to get beat by anything that we're adding in now. So I think that this is going to be what we end up rolling with, guys. Yeah, plus 239 over on DK, Red Sox over 2.5, Yankees over 3.5, Texas over 2.5, and then Houston on the money line. I think that that's going to be the play. I'll post that down in the pinned comments so you guys have it, but yeah, I think that is going to be the parlay today. Again, we have 4 legs. I do like it. We definitely did our due diligence of adding and taking things away and kind of chiseling at that piece of stone to get it to what we want. Something feels fishy. Maybe that Houston is like a trap or something like that, but nonetheless, just go win the game, right? That's all I have for you guys. Make sure you go ahead and comment 20. You're about to hit that 20-minute mark in today's video. Really do appreciate all of the support on these parlay videos, and let me know in the comments, especially if you're still watching, Do you like it on the second channel, kind of living apart from the main channel, letting that normal content flow as we try something new? Or should we say, hey, let's just get this on the main channel and in everyone's feeds and everything like that? Because obviously this is kind of like a testing ground on the second channel, right? But I've been having a blast doing it on the second channel. So let me know down below. Catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.